वेणुवाद्य विनोदिने सुधापान शालिने वनमालिने स्वरूपास्त्वं कृष्णप्रिया वरीयसी प्रेमवती प्रदे देवी अधिका त्वं नमोस्तुते। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 7, scheduled incarnations, text 5. Taptam tapo vividalokasi strukshayame Adau sanat svatapasa sachatusanoputa Prakalpasamplava vinashatam ihatmatattvam Samyak jagadmunayo yadchakshatatmana Taptam tapo vividhalokasi strukshayame Adau sanat svatapasa sachatusanoputa Prakalpasamplava vinashtamiha atmatattvam Jagadmunayo yadchakshatatmana Taptam tapo vividalokasi strukshayame Adau sanat svatapasa sachatusanoputa Prakalpasamplavan vinashtamiha atmatattvam Samyak jagadmunayo yadachakshatatmana Akalpasamplava vinashtamiha atmatattvam Jagadmunayo yadachakshatatmana. Having undergone austerities, tapaha, penance, vividha loka, different planetary systems, jaya, create, may, of mine, adav, from personality of a Godhead. By dint of my own penances, He, the Lord, Sanaha, the four bachelors named Sanat Kumar, Sanandan, and Sanatan, Abhuta, appeared, previous, Kalpa, creation, Samplava, foundation, Vinashtam, devastated. Iha, in this material world, the spirit, Tattvam, Samyak, incomplete, Jagat, become manifested. Sages, Yat, that which saw clearly, the spirit. Translation and purport by His Loving Divine Grace of Govindabhakta Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. To create different planetary system, I had to undergo austerities and penance. And the Lord, thus being pleased with me, created in four sons. Sanatan, Sanandan, Sanat Kumar. In this creation, the spiritual truth was devastated, but the four sanas explained it that the truth at once became clearly perceived by the sages. Purport. Sahasranam prayers mentions the Lord's name as Sanat and Sanatanatam. The Lord and the living entities are both qualitatively Sanatan or eternal. Is Sanatanatam in the superlative degree. The living entities are positively Sanatan, but not superlatively. Entities are apt to fall fear of non-eternity. Living entities are quantitatively different from the superlative God. The word Sana is also used in the sense of charity when everything is given up in charity unto the Lord. Lord reciprocates by giving himself unto the devotees. Affirmed in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Brahmaji wanted to create the whole cosmic situation as it was in the previous millennium. Because in the last devastation, knowledge of the absolute truth was from the universe. He desired the same knowledge again. Otherwise, there would be no meaning in the creation. Transcendental knowledge is a necessity. The ever conditioned soul are given a chance for a liberation millennium of creation. The mission of Brahmaji was fulfilled by the grace of the Lord when the four sons, namely Sanak, Sanananda, appeared as his four sons. They were incarnations of knowledge of the Supreme Lord, and as such they explained it so explicitly that all these sages at once assimilate this knowledge without the difficulty. In the footsteps of four Kumaras, one can see the Supreme Personality of our Godhead himself. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Tadamayam Dadati Swa Padandikam Eham Shri Guruho Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Guruna Vaishnavancha Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Savathutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitancha. So here in this purport, it is explained about of who are none other than the Kumaras, considered as the Shaktavesha avatar or Avesha avatar. When they were born from Brahma, Brahma asked them to go and create a progeny. And they said, we can't do this. Maji became furious. We'll do it. They said, no, it's none of our job. We want even the whatever age that we have, the body that we have, let it be eternal. That's why all the Kumaras, you can see, they are like a 5 years old. But they are the most of this universe. And they are considered as the topmost amongst entities who knows the absolute truth. Gyan Shaktyavesh Avatar. And in Vrindavan, even before Gaudiyas came, most of the temple was taken care by devotees from the Kumar Sampradaya. Brahmaji, from him comes the Brahma Sampradaya. In his Sampradaya, Lord appears as a Madhvacharya. Then he goes to Badrinarayan, meets Srila Vyasadeva, begs his blessings. Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta Sutras. In his sampradaya, further in the age of Akali, the great Lord Sri Gauranga appeared and he propagated about the glories of the Holy Name. So same way, from this Chatush Kumaras came a sampradaya which is known as a Kumar Sampradaya. Kali, the prominent Acharya was Nimbaditya, Nimbarkacharya, who was born somewhere in a Dravida Desha, Andhra. And he preached about the glorious Srimati Radharani. Even their mantra is like a Shri Sarveshwari Srimati. They preferably call Srimati Radharani as a Sarveshwari. Why? Because she can even control Sri Krishna. Then what to speak of other living entities? And it is said that when everything is given up in a charity, then you become qualified to accept their lordship. And that's why the word sanat has used here. The word son is also, or san is also used in the sense of charity. Therefore, when everything is given in charity unto the Lord reciprocates by giving himself unto that devotee. Where we have discussed about who can purchase their lordship. Oh, when we are discussing Gaur Lila. Anugraya Bhaktana, just to become compassionate to his devotees, takes different incarnations. Acharya, when he was offering Tulasi Dalamatrena, you remember that? In Gaur Lila, we have discussed how Advaita Acharya called up Lord Gauranga, what he did for that. He prayed to Shalagram. He offered one tulsi leaf and handful of water. Tulasi, Anjali Jalayor. Lord says, Vikriyamanante Bhakta. For them I get sold out. Who just offer me a tulsi leaf, water of Ganges. Please get pleased with that. Because Bhaktalo Bhakta Vatsaloham. Vatsalo. Bhaktavatsala. So this particular incarnation of the Lord, Brahmaji says he incarnated to propagate truth. And that's why all these Kumaras, they preached about. It's said that when the last they were born, and knowledge about the Supreme Absolute Truth also got lost because of devastation. To revive that knowledge and distribute it in incarnation as a Chatush Kumaras. Should we go for the next verse or stop? Dharmasya dakshto hitaryajanishtamurtyam Narayano narayati swattapa prabhava Atmano bhagavato niyamavalopam Devasya tvananga pratana gatitum nasheku. To exhibit his personal way of austerity and penance, he appeared in the forms of the Narayan and Nara in the womb of Murti, the wife of Dharma and the daughter of Ksha. Beauties, the companions of Cupid, went to try to break his vows, but they were unsuccessful. For they saw that many beauties like them were emanating from him, the personality of a god. So in this world, the incarnation of Lord as a Naranarayan Rishi has explained. And why he has appeared? To show his own way of performing austerity and just to disturb him, again sent him celestial like Apsaras. They came and they tried to allure them while they were performing. Then what they did, from their thigh they created beautiful damsels. They are more beautiful than the and Indra got attracted to them. Take it. But don't do this nonsense again and send anyone else to disturb our. The Lord being the source of everything that be is the origin of all austerity and penance also. Of austerity are undertaken by sages to achieve the success in self-realization. It is meant for tapasya. With the great vow of celibacy or brahmacharya, in the rigid life of tapasya, is for the association of women. And because human life is meant for tapasya, for their self-realization, for the self-realization, factual human civilization is the system of Sanatana Dharma, or the school of a 4 castes and 4 orders of a life. Prescribed rigid disassociation from a woman in 3 stages of a life. Of gradual cultural development, One's life may be divided into 4 divisions: celibacy, household life, retirement, and renunciation. Life of a life up to the 25 years of age may be trained as a brahmachari under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, just to understand that woman is the real binding force in the material existence. To be get freedom from the material bondage of a life, get free from the attraction for the form of a woman. Fair sex is enchanting principle for the living entities. Especially in the human being, is meant for self-realization. The whole world is moving under the spell of attraction. And as soon as a man becomes a woman, he at once becomes victim of material bondage under the desires for lording it over the material world, under the intoxication of a false sense of lordship, begin just after a man's unification with a woman. Acquiring a house, possessing land, having children, and becoming prominent in society. From a community and the place of birth, affection for community, birth, and the hankering for wealth, like phantasmagoria or illusory dreams. A human being thus impeded in its progress towards the self-realization. Of a life, the brahmachari or boy from the age of 5 years, especially from higher castes, the scholarly parents, the brahmanas, the administrative parents, the kshatriyas, or the mercantile or productive parents, is trained until 25 years of the age under the care of a bona fide guru or teacher, and under strict observance of a discipline, to understand the values of life, along with the training for a livelihood. The brahmachari is then allowed to go home and enter householder life and get married. But there are many brahmacharis who do not go to home to become a householder, but continue Naishtika brahmacharis without any connection with the woman. They accept the order of sannyas or the renounced order of a life. That combination with a woman is an unnecessary burden that checks self-realization. That is very strong at a certain stage of a life. The guru may allow a brahmachari to marry. Given to a brahmachari who is unable to continue brahmacharya. And such a discriminations are possible for the bona fide guru. A program of so-called family planning needed. The householder who associates with the human under the spiritual restrictions after a thorough training of brahmachari cannot be a householder like caste. Such a householder, after 50 years of age, would retire from the association of a woman as a vanaprastha to be trained to live alone without the association of women. complete, the same retired householder becomes sannyasi, strictly separate from woman, even from his married wife, studying the whole scheme of disassociation from women. Woman is stumbling block, and the Lord's appearance as a Narayana, principle of womanly discussion, womanly disassociation in a life. The demigods, being envious of the austerity life of the rigid brahmacharis, would try to break their vows by dispatching Cupid or soldiers of Cupid. But in the case of Lord, it became an unsuccessful attempt when the celestial beauties saw that the Lord can produce innumerable such beauties, internal potency, and that there was a consequently no need to be externally, others externally. There is a common proverb that is never attracted by sweetmeats. The confectioner who is always manufacturing sweetmeats desire to eat them. They are given it. Similarly, the Lord potential powers can produce innumerable and not be the least attracted by the false beauties. One who does not know alleges foolishly that Lord Krishna enjoyed women in his Rasa Leela in Vrindavan. It is 16,000 married wives at Dwarka. To exhibit his personal way of austerity and penance, he appeared in a twin forms of Narayana, the womb of Murti, the wife of Dharma and the daughter of Daksha. So Daksha Prajapati is blessed with the grandsons. And they are none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, Narayan. This incarnation of the Lord is specifically descended this material world to show us how to perform the austerities. It is the essence of human form of a life. Human form of a life, one has an intelligence. Sada asada viveka buddhi, through which you can judge what is good and what is bad for you. And one can perform austerities by his own existence. In the 5th canto, where Rishabdev, he starts preaching to his own sons. He had 100 sons. Among them, 9 Navayogendras, celibates. They never entered into the household life. Become Navayogendras. Amongst the remaining son was Maharaj Bharat, who also in his turn When he saw that his sons were capable of taking responsibility of, and he was a king of whole earth, them, and he also retired and he went to the. So the human form of a life is meant to perform austerities. And Prabhupada especially gives stress here on following this celibacy. Human life is meant for such a tapasya with a great vow of celibacy or brahmacharya. Life of tapasya, there is no place association of women. Life is meant for tapasya, for self-realization. Civilization is conceived by the system of Sanatana Dharma, or the school of 4 castes and 4 orders of a life. Prescribes rigid disassociation of a woman in 3 stages of life. In the order of a gradual cultural development, one's life may be divided into 4 divisions: Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasi. So the celibacy, household life, retirement and renunciation. Age of life up to the 25 years age, a man may be trained as a brahmachari under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, just to understand that woman is the real binding force in the material. That's why Shivji, he explains, woman is known as a Yoshita. The word Yoshita means who expands the material enjoyment. If men or man come in contact with a woman, definitely he needs a shelter, because they can't stay on the road. They need to have a shelter. As soon as they come under the one shelter, then there will be a offspring. He need to earn. Starts. So like that, if he remains a celibate, he can continue with his spiritual progress. He can just work, which is very easy to attain the Supreme Personality of a God. But when he comes in a contact with a woman, definitely he expands his field of material existence. Suta, Apta, Vitta. Comes with that. When one comes in contact with a woman, there will be a offspring. When that Suta has come, then automatically all other relatives also they come. Generally, in India, it happens if someone is not able to have a child, unknowingly or unintentionally, or sometimes intentionally, they are boycotted from all the cultural activities. Have kids. They are never welcomed for different ceremonies, cultural programs. He has, then they are invited. There is a gathering of Apta. Apta means family friends. Suta, Apta. If you have a Apta, family friends, and you have a celebration, you need to have a money. So when a simple brahmachari comes in contact with a woman, definitely he has to go for, because he has to maintain his own family, his family friends, and everything. And that expands his existence. And that's why in the three stages of human form of a life, there is a disassociation with a woman so that progress in his spiritual life. And Prabhupada says that the whole world running around one pure, and that is the sexual attraction between man and woman. Real existence is based on that. Because that gives the desire of lording it over the material world under the intoxication of the and specifically begin just after man's unification with the woman. The desire for acquiring the house, possessing land, having children in society, and the affection for the community and the place of birth or wealth, which are all like dreams. And that creates great impediment in the progress of spiritual life. And that's why, just to show that, as a Narnarayan Rishi. And here, one more point Prabhupada has clear, that Lord never gets attracted or never creates impediment in his activities because of the attraction for women. Commonly, foolishly, they think that Krishna, when he was in Vrindavan, pastimes, that he enjoyed women. Prabhupada has given a nice example. A person who makes, he is not attracted to eat sweets. He does not have that taste in that. God has created all the beauties, especially the spiritual beauties. Once when a place called Hath, क्या है वो हथरा, जहाँ पे कामदेव को भगवान ने ये किया था, हाथरस है या हाथो, क्या कौन सा, कि जहाँ पे वो हथ हो गया, शेरगढ़ से आगे जाते तब लगता है शेषशाही की ओर. So there is a place, Hatona. In Brajamandal, where Kamadev once came to distract Lord with his 5 arrows, and he started shooting them. But when he saw the beauty, Lord's eyebrows only, and the eyebrows of the gopis, he became a pale in front of that transcendental beauty. They got blunt. He was trying to mess up with of transcendental beauty, and that he got dejected. That's why that place is known as a Hatona. So one should not foolishly think that Lord and his activities are like us, like a conditioned soul. As we get entangled, he also gets entangled. And just to show that, Lord appeared as a Narnarayan Rishi. And he showed how to perform that austerities. Present there in Himalayas, they are performing their austerities. Souls and elevated personalities with a purified consciousness, they can have association of Narnarayan today. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद